just can't stop now. No, trying to find a way out. Hey, feels like they won't let me move, let me breathe, let me leave, just like a maze, like a maze.
Yo, PolyRob, what up?
Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the PolyRob podcast, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I appreciate everybody on Facebook Live right now, keeping it live, doing what I do. It's your counsel PolyRob. You already know what it is. Make sure you subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well as SoundCloud. I also have the podcast on Stitcher Radio. I got it on a bunch of platforms now that everybody been fucking with me. I appreciate y'all. Everybody been tuning in and giving good responses, man. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave comments, leave suggestions, write reviews. I love doing it, man, and I just want to do that for y'all. Today's topic, this is going to be a crazy topic because just from me being in music, me doing a lot of music for so many years, I haven't heard of anybody talking about this particular topic. So I wanted to have a chance to be able to talk about it here. You know what I mean? And the topic for today is the rapper's diet. Let me say it again. The topic of today is the rapper's diet. Creatives, whether you're a rapper, musician, producer, singer, dancer, there's a point in time where you just figure out that your eating habits be way off. It be way off. Not just your eating habits, but the time that you eat. It's just crazy. And, the struggle is real. Let's just be honest. The struggle is real. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to talk about the rapper's diet. I call it the rapper's diet is because I used to be a rapper back in the days, long time ago. And, during that time frame, it was a lot of decisions I had to make, little decisions that we'll talk about a little later on. We'll also talk about what do we eat when we broke, when a creative, when an artist, when a rapper is broke, what do we eat? We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how much money do we really spend on food? Like, that's a big thing. Like, just so much things to just imagine. Just in my brain right now, I'm just thinking about so many times I done spent or didn't have the opportunity to spend money on food. So we'll get to that as well. And also, before the show is over, I'll definitely talk about just my diet and the foods that affect my studio performance. And it's real, like all the foods that affect my studio performance. You know what I'm saying? So this is the rapper's diet, y'all. And let's get into it. So, one of the biggest things that people don't realize that when you're trying to reach success, especially in the music industry, for the great things that you do, you lose certain other elements of yourself. They always say, like, when you gain in one area, but you lose in another area. And I really feel like your diet is one of the things that suffer when you're in the music industry. It really suffers. And I'm not directing that towards actors who have to physically get in shape to be able to take care of a role, because that's a thing that's a part of, the whole nature of you even getting in work. I'm talking about the artists who are trying to get in the game, trying to do their thing. You know what I mean? They have the music, they have the talent. They just go through the struggles. And one of those struggles is a diet, food. eating, being able to survive and eat every day while you booking studio time, while you're paying for features, while you're trying to travel from place to place to try to get somewhere, especially if you're not in the primary cities like LA, like Chicago, like New York, like Miami, like Atlanta, you know what I mean? Like all of these other places where you try to hustle and try to do your thing, and your diet is something that suffers as a result of a lot of hard work, a lot of grinding, you know what I mean? For me, I used to get into a lot of just situations where it was either me being able to book the studio time and not eat, or for me to go ahead and eat for the day and not being able to book the studio time. Now, for the average person in the world that don't do music, when you hear this, you like, what the fuck are you talking about, nigga? You gotta eat to live. Like, that's what it is. Fuck the studio time. But no, we are creatives. Our objective is to create every day. That's what heals our soul. So I would really get into situations where it's like, yo, the studio is $40 an hour. You know what I mean? And I got 100. This particular studio, it's difficult for me to get everything that we need to get done within that hour or two. Like, we're trying to put together a whole project. So I got to figure out how to break down that 100 to where I can get the music done and still be able to feed myself. Now, keep in mind, this is, me, being 12, 13, 14 years old. Hundreds is hard to come by. Having 100 is hard to come by. I wouldn't know artist that was a drug dealer on the side that was getting money that could blow it on anything. You know what I'm saying? I was in the hip hop for real. You know what I mean? So like side hustles and stuff like that, I didn't really start getting into that until I was like 16, 17, stuff like that. It was really about the craft for me. It was always about the craft. So there's a lot of days where it's like, nah, my parents didn't have no money for giving me allowance, so I can just spend it on what I need to spend it on. You know what I mean? So I had to figure it out. But I wanted to be in the studio. You know what I mean? But then on the other half of it is like, shit, you gonna be in the studio hungry or what? You know what I mean? So, the things that I ate when I was being a rapper, being broke, you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, it still transfers to now. Even though I'm a successful producer, my diet is still affected by shit that I eat now, by the rapper's diet. You know what I'm saying? So shit that I eat when I'm broke. Chips. Chips is one of my main things. I'm always tearing down some fucking Doritos. If you really, really broke, you got to hit the Cheeto game. You got to hit the Cheetos. You got to hit the hot fries. You got to hit whatever chips you can get that has it in abundance. The Fritos, you hit the Fritos, you get that off. Those type of chips was like, it lasts you a while through the day. You know what I'm saying? Through the day. And now, that was a really, 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 really big thing. When you're in the studio, you're like, damn, nigga, I'm hungry, but I got to fucking pay for this fucking studio time or whatever, or I got to pay for this feature. So it's like, nigga, fuck it. We're going to buy some chips, we're going to buy some juice, and we just going to get it off. You know what I mean? And we just going to do what we do. Going to McDonald's, going to Burger King, buying all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They got the 4 for $4 meal. They got the $2.50 Whopper. They got the 29-cent. Y'all remember that? When they had the 29-cent cheeseburgers and they had the 29-cent hamburgers and they had the 39-cent cheeseburgers. You know what I'm saying? That's what you eat. That's what you be eating when you in the studio doing your thing. When a nigga make a store run, when they go make the store run, they like, yo, what you want? Hey, yo, just buy a gang of cheeseburgers, bro, and just, you know what I mean? Everybody can eat. You know what I'm saying? Taco Bell getting the 49-cent tacos. You know what I'm saying? Del Taco, rocking with that. Like all of these foods, we fuck with the deals. We fuck with all the deals. That's our thing. Like you go to the fast food spots and you fuck with all the special deals because you know you're going to have to stretch that 20. You got to stretch that 20. Your objective is to spend a little bit at a time. Now, let me tell you, even though it's fucked up, but let me tell you how effective it ends up becoming. Well, for me, just for me, for my personal experience. I'm a firm believer in you do the best shit when you broke. I'm going to say it again. I'm a firm believer in you do the best shit when you broke. So for me, even though I was eating the bullshit, in my brain, I knew my purpose of what I was trying to do in that day. I knew that I was going to eat these cheeseburgers. I was going to buy the studio time. And I was going to have all my raps ready to go because I'm trying to get like 4 or 5 songs done in an hour or two. I was trying to knock it all the way down, knock them all out. And I know that anybody that came with me to the studio, y'all need to be on the same thing too. Y'all need to be on the same thing too. Y'all need to have your verses ready. Y'all need to be ready to go. And we need to just knock this whole thing down. My whole life, has been, living through improvisation, trying to improvise, throughout my life. You know what I'm saying? Luckily, my mom was blessed. I was blessed for my mom to be a good cook, so she taught me how to cook. So on top of the fast food spots that you would go to spend a couple of dollars to eat for the day, I would make grocery runs. I would hit the grocery store. I was one of the very few kids in my area that knew that I can get $10 and stretch it into a full meal. I can do that. You know what I'm saying? Store runs, grocery runs, a big thing to the rapper's diet, because if you could find somebody in your clan that could cook, oh no, everybody put in $3, $4, $5, $2. Everybody put some shit together and let's all get some groceries, B, and let's cook. You know what I mean? Let's cook for that day. Everybody can eat. I'm talking about the rapper's diet, y'all. I'm talking about the things that we eat, the shit that we go through when we trying to get to success. I head to the grocery store. Let's say I collectively get $14 from everybody that's around me so we can go eat. Now, we could choose to go to McDonald's or Burger King, get a bunch of cheeseburgers, but that's only going to last for that particular moment. That's only going to last for that particular moment, and then we hungry again. Then we got to come out with some more money to eat. So what I would do, and I know it's a lot of people on my live that y'all know what I do because I'm always about cooking. I would grab everybody money and I would say, yo, I'm going to go to the grocery store. I'm going to cook some shit so everybody can eat. Because I know this studio session, whether it's in my house, because I always, majority of the time I had a studio in my house because I built one. It's either I'm cooking right now, either at my house, or it's a studio that got a kitchen in it and I'm getting busy in that too. So I would go to the grocery store. Let's say I got $14, $15. First thing I go do, grab a bag of potatoes. Because I already know I can flip these potatoes in so many different ways. Cut them up, saute them motherfuckers. Or hit the baked potato game. You know what I'm saying? Slit them, put them in the oven, baked potato that. You know what I'm saying? Cut them up, fry them to make some fries. I could do so much with potatoes, so that's off the rip. But a big bag of potatoes, $2.50, $3, I'm good. Then I go grab some vegetables, onions, bell peppers. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who like what, you know what I'm saying? I'll go get some asparagus. All that stuff is cheap. Vegetables, you'll be able to get that so you can go along with your meal. I'm talking about I'm cooking real meals for studio sessions, yo. I'm really doing that. I'm really cooking real meals for studio sessions because it's about the rapper's diet, man. We gotta survive. That's what the rapper's diet means. We gotta survive. We gotta hold on until the time where we get the real money. Until we get the real money. I got the vegetables. Probably like $3, $4. I got the bag of potatoes. Boom. Now I can go get some meat. You already know those packets of wings. Buy a pack of wings. Probably cost you $6, $7. Or if you want to go cheaper and more meat effective, you can get the pack Foster Farms, $6 or $7, drumsticks and thighs. You already know what you can do with that. You can fry them, you can bake them, you can, I get fancy with it, so I start braising them. You know, I will braise them with some gravy. I can make my own gravy. Man, I'm putting together meals for studio sessions because niggas gotta eat. And you can put that together. You can have that food for them to eat now, and then you can eat later. Fast food spots, what we eat when we broke. Going to the grocery store with a little bit of money, but figuring out the right things to get. You can make tacos. You know what I'm saying? You could do meatballs and rice. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot you can do. You could do nachos. You know what I'm saying? You could do, hot dogs or whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Get your cook on. That's what I used to do. That's what I still do. Even now, you come to my studio right now, you are best believe I'm in the back making enchiladas. Matter of fact, yesterday I made enchiladas. In the back while they was taping another podcast. Shout out to the Overrated Truth podcast. Go check them out. Subscribe to them as well. Another thing, foods to get while you're on a rapper's diet. People bringing food. That was a big thing. There's some people in your life that understand what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. And without even saying it, they understand that you may not have the money necessary to feed yourself the right way every day. There's a man or a woman out there that understand that you're trying to chase a dream, but you don't have all the finances to do the basic shit in your life. I've been through that. I've been in situations where I was so close to getting a lump sum of money, but then the small things that I needed to get taken care of. Today we're talking about eating, your diet. I didn't have money to eat, or at least money to eat the right way. And some days I didn't have money at all to eat. And those people, y'all know who I'm talking about. Everybody that know me, y'all know who I'm talking about. It's those people that come through and bless you. It's people that on a regular basis, they eat with their families and they got extra food and they bring it to you at the studio late night. It's people who cook for other people that'll call you and be like, yo, hey, yo, you hungry? Be like, hell yeah, I'm starving. All right, look, when I finish taking care of moms and auntie and them, I'm gonna come bring you a plate. It's people that, and this is real for me. It's times where during the holidays, you by yourself and you in your own little box, your own little corner, and there's people that hit you like, yo, 4th of July, man, what you doing? I'm not doing nothing, yo. All right, but look, I'm finna come bring you a plate when I'm done with my family. You know what I'm saying? It's people like that that come and help you through your quest of what you got going. And I'm here to say, I never forget that. I will never in my life forget that. Those people who's helped me stay afloat with food and nurturing and nourishment while I'm trying to do my thing, because it's a real thing. Artists really forget about the basic shit. Like, I would forget to eat some days. Some days it wasn't about not having money to get food. Some days it was just, I just fucking forgot. I was in the lab so much, working on so much hot shit, I just fucking forgot to eat. And it's those people that call you and remind you or pull up on you with a Tupperware like, yo, did you eat? I still got people Tupperware right now. I still got people Tupperware right now for when they bring me a meal. It's not like I'm trying to hold on to it, but maybe it's something symbolic for me. You know what I mean? Maybe it's symbolic for me to always remember by seeing that plate, by seeing that Tupperware, by seeing that spoon, by seeing that cup you brought from the house. Maybe that's just my whole psychological thing of me appreciating y'all. Because I appreciate y'all for real. We talking about the rapper's diet, y'all. You're able to find the closest people to you during that whole quest of doing what you're doing. And, that's a whole another sidebar. We're going to get into that. I'm not trying to get emotional right now because it's real. I can go there. You know what I mean? Let's talk about how much money we really spend on food. Rappers spend on food. Artists, producers, musicians. Let's just go through today. Okay, this morning I got my medicine ball because y'all know that's what I do. Starbucks, my medicine ball. And I got a bacon and egg sandwich. Total, that was like $7. $7. And then midday, I ate my enchiladas that I made yesterday. So that was free for today. Then I ate a Pollo Loco. That was $13. $13 for a Pollo Loco. And then I just had Wingstop. Wingstop was like 21 something. So total, I spent about $40 today on food. $40 today. Now, let me tell you the problem with that. The problem with that is a lot of artists don't have that type of money to be spending every day. On food, I spent $40 on food today. And look, my day not even over. I don't know what the hell I'm finna spend tonight. I got records to work on. These rappers, they stay in the studio and they working on their craft and they getting doper at what they doing. They need to eat. They may, order Roscoe's. Call Grubhub and order Barry's Pizza. A lot of people be spending like $100 to $200 on food a day. Shit is real. I can honestly say on average, just without me even thinking about it, I probably spend about $40 or $50 on food every day. Every day. And it's because we don't have the ability or the option all the time to just sit down and cook or sit down with the family and eat. We always on the go. A rapper, a producer, musician, we always on the go. We in and out, in and out, in and out. So we constantly stopping at the store. We constantly stopping at the fast food spot. We constantly, like, the only time we really sit down is if, we sit down at a restaurant. You know what I mean? And that's like our own little peace of mind to sit down and eat after you did something miraculous. But even still then, that bill is like $150. Easy. Easy $150. We spend a lot of money a month on food alone because of one reason. One reason only. The convenience of grabbing food on the go. The convenience of grabbing food on the go. And the inconvenience of not being able to sit down and eat food or prep your food. We don't have the luxury of prepping our meal for the week to start the week. We don't have it. Now, I know these days we're living in a world where a lot of people are health conscious, which I get. I'm trying to be that myself. But at the same time, we don't have the time frame to sit down and do all the meal prep, to schedule our time to eat. Because we could say, I just want to get 3 meals a day with like one snack. And then you'll do like a 14-hour session where you don't have the ability to go anywhere. So now people are just ordering a bunch of shit. Ordering a bunch of shit. One of the biggest things is it's nothing good to eat past 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Nothing healthy, at least. I'm in LA. I can only imagine in other cities and states, what do you eat after 9, 10 o'clock? Because all it is over here is Mexican tacos, Del Taco, McDonald's, Burger King, In-N-Out, Wendy's, a couple of pizzerias. Ain't no vegan spots or no healthy spots open late, except like Subway, and everybody iffy on the bread anyway. They say the bread is bad for you. I don't know. But it's only bad places to eat after 9, 10 o'clock. It's only terrible places to eat. But you gotta eat because you've been in a session this whole time. You gotta eat, especially if your session ended at 3 or 4 p.m. Oh man, I gotta get some food before I go home. I got to get some food before I go home. So guess what? You're driving your little ass to Jack in the Box. Going to get the Jack in the Box breakfast. Going to get those tacos. Going to get that jumbo jack. Man, it's crazy. The rapper's diet. I've been through it. Sometimes I still go through it. one of the craziest things is, you know, trying to understand your body as you go out the day. Like for me, I know certain foods and certain foods that I eat that affects my studio performance. It affects my day. It affects how I move. It affects what I do. That's important. People they talk about weed, they talk about drink, they talk about drugs and how it affects them. Oh, this makes me hype. This makes me sleepy and stuff like that. We always hear that, but people don't talk about the actual foods that affect how you move, how you stay up, how you do certain things, how it affects you being in the studio working on records. So before I go, I want to give y'all the types of foods that affect my studio performance. So if you ever happen to be in the studio with me and you see me eat one of these foods, just be like, nah, my nigga, because we know what that does to you. You know what I mean? So foods that affect my studio performance. We're talking about the rapper's diet, people. And although I'm not a rapper anymore, I've been through the rapper's diet, so I know what I'm talking about. And, it's real. So one of the foods that affects my studio performance in terms of me being able to stay up as much, a food that makes me really sluggish is beef. Beef, steak, anything of that nature, a burger, makes me really, really sluggish. It's hard for me to perform in the studio for long amounts of hours when I just had a burger or when I just had steak or when I had like some type of a roast or something like that. You know what I mean? Especially like some beef with like gravy. Oh my goodness. And some rice. Oh my goodness. It's a wrap. You might get 4 or 5 hours out of me tops, and it's over. I'm on my way to fall asleep. So beef for real affects my studio performance in the worst way. So I try not to eat beef or anything beef related hours before I start a studio session because I know what that does to my body. It makes me sleepy. Make me want to, I get the itis. I get the full itis, and I'm out of here. Candy. Candy for everybody else it makes them hyper. For me, it gives me a headache. Candy gives me a headache when I'm in the studio working, especially in the studio that has different types of lights or multiple lights flashing, or I'm looking at the monitor for long periods of time. Like candy just fucks my whole day up. And I don't know. I think for me, I naturally have energy. So for some reason, candy just crashes me. Like, yeah, it just fully crashes me. So I don't eat candy often at all, period. So I stay away from that. You know what I mean? But yeah, candy is something that I definitely don't want to eat during the session. And some people, they eat candy to try to keep them up. It'll do the actual opposite to me. It'll fuck me up. So I don't eat candy at all during studio sessions, and I naturally don't eat candy, period. Soda. Oh, that's soda. Soda gives me a big rush. Gives me a big rush, especially if I have a Coke or a Sprite. It gives me a big rush in the studio. But after a while, of course, that soda wears off for me. It definitely wears off. So if I need that rush, like I don't take 5-hour energies because it gives me a headache. But for sodas, I'll like drink, a cold soda or whatnot. It'll give me a rush. It'll keep me up a little bit. But I know that there's an ending to that. So I usually drink sodas kind of like the last hour or two from the studio session when I know we're like hitting the ending stride. Because I know it's gonna be a downside to it, and I try to stay away from sodas as well because it fucking sucks. But it's bomb, and I know that if I need something to keep me up and keep me going, I can get that soda. So I'm trying to take that out of my diet. Bear with me. Potatoes. Potatoes make me feel very, very heavy. Very, very heavy. And for me, that's not good because I like to move around the studio. I like to bob my head. I like to vibe. I like to do my thing. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy what's going on. So I try to stay away from potatoes, especially like when you go get like a burger and fries. Like that's the ultimate killer. You know what I mean? I try to stay away from potatoes because it slows me down and makes me feel very, very heavy. You know, especially the like baked potatoes and stuff like that. Shout out to Sizzler. I just went there the other day, so shout out to Sizzler. Baked potatoes, you know what I'm saying? Sauteed potatoes. I try to stay away from that during late night studio sessions because it just makes me heavy. You know what I mean? I don't like performing like that. I like to feel light on my feet, and so I can do my thing. One thing I do like, any food that's an aphrodisiac. It keeps me up. It keeps me up. It keeps me vibing. Any like oysters big, aphrodisiac. I'll fuck with that. I'll eat oysters and get popping for sure. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing for me. It'll keep me up. It'll keep me abrupt. It'll keep me in my pocket doing my thing. That's pretty much like the whole setup for me. Anything else I can deal with. Like I would prefer everybody to like, if you're in a studio session, especially singers, eat light. Salads, seafood, baked chicken, stuff like that. It's gonna keep you light on your feet to be able for you to do your thing. And then one of the biggest things about foods that affect your performance is it really affects your brain and how you think. You know what I mean? I find that when I eat, green foods, I eat seafood, you know what I'm saying? My brain process of me computing things is a lot better than when I eat like a beef or like pork and stuff like that. Like for some reasons, it's like, I don't know, my brain just don't work as good. You know what I'm saying? Or it's probably working sluggish or whatever. But I find myself when you eat a lot of green foods and you drink your water and, some people come in with the alkaline water, like it just gives you a good feel, a good rush for you to be able to perform and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So I would encourage people. I'm not, like I said, I'm not a health guru. I'm trying to get up on my shit too. But I would encourage people to, eat a lot of green foods and seafood and eat light before you come to a studio session because it's going to affect your performance in a great way and it's going to make you do your thing. Like I'm a real advocate of that. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's it's a good thing. The rapper's diet, in conclusion, the rapper's diet is for all the people who are out there trying to do their thing in the industry and they don't know which way they want to go with their health. You know what I'm saying? Because health is a big thing in the music industry. Fortunately for me, that I haven't gone through any major complications or any complications for that matter regarding health in a major way. But that doesn't mean that it might not come or it's not coming. You know what I'm saying? I take heed to that. I understand that. And the reason for me even talking about this episode is to get it out there in the open and get it out there and let people understand, like, I understand how this thing goes. I understand how we spend money foolishly on the bullshit foods because we don't have the time. So I'm saying from PolyRob to everybody, if you're a rapper, if you're a musician, if you're a producer, take your time and eat the right way. I plan on doing the same. take your time and eat the right way, because it affects so many elements about your well-being and your drive and your energy and where you want to go in your quest to be great. Before I get out of here, I just want to say this one saying that one of my mentors told me, and it stuck with me because, at this point in time, I see a lot of my friends and a lot of other people's friends that are in the music industry die from heart attacks, die from strokes, die from high blood pressure, die from obesity, and it hurts. It really, really hurts that somebody so talented, somebody so beautiful can pass away because we're not monitoring what we need to. It's mind, body, and soul, for real. And you got to make sure you take care of the body. And this is the quest that I'm on. I'm on a quest to take care of my body. And shout out to everybody that's taking care of their body, no matter what profession that they in. Y'all are my motivation, and I'm trying to get right. I'm trying to get it right. And I'm saying that to say, all the creatives out there, we need to be more mindful on what we put in our bodies, because we need to be on earth to continue to get the blessings that we get when we bless other people. One of my mentors told me, he said, don't get to a point where you've been grinding, you've been working so hard, you've been doing all the right shit, all the way to get success, and then die and not be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Don't get to a point where you work so hard and you get the success and then you die because you didn't get right and you don't have a chance to enjoy the fruits of your labor. This shit is real, y'all. The rapper's diet is a real thing, and we need to overcome that. That's what this podcast is about, in a nutshell. It's about talking about the rapper's diet because it's out there and being able to overcome that and seek better health so we can see better wealth. It's real, y'all. This is my podcast, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all subscribe on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Stitcher. I'm on Spotify now. I'm now on Spotify, so fuck with me. And, we're going to keep dropping, man. Leave the comments, write the reviews, and share, man. Tell everybody about the podcast, man. I appreciate y'all, and we're going to keep everything rocking, all right? Peace.